So let me tell you what we're not taking with us on this journey: the art of comparison.
Calling me out like the first day. This ain't no first day.
Hey guys, it's your girl Olivia on the officially Unfiltered Channel, where we have honest adulting conversations. And I say, to be honest, today this one had to happen. So basically, for those who haven't been keeping up with the first two videos, the first two videos, I am on this journey, or really showcasing this segment called On the Road to 30. Trying to learn a few things that would be very crucial for my journey, my growth, everything. And so, even though the segment is called On the Road to 30, I want you to insert your own milestone on the road to 21, on the way to getting married, on the way to finishing my exam, whatever the milestone is that you got going on, insert it where I put on the road to 30. And while we go on this journey, because the idea is between now and a milestone, we're going to learn a lot of things, grow, evolve, become the women we want to be, and the men actually, because my channel ain't gender specific. And so I just thought the next logical step of this journey is to drop the baggage we are not taking with us into 30 whatsoever, right? And so the first thing that came to mind as soon as I started thinking about it was comparison. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this is like what, video 3? And I really had to motivate myself to see this one through, because honestly, comparison is probably something that we all struggle with at least once or twice. I don't want to say a week, because that sounds a bit like, yeah, you need to go and get, but we struggle with it at least once in our lifetime. Let's just put it that way. And so I have really had to remind myself, and most likely going to have to remind you, that your audience isn't waiting for you to be perfect. They're just waiting for you to be present. And I think comparison causes us to delay on being present in the aims to being perfect, or on the off chance that we'll reach that perfect achievement or milestone because we've seen others do it as well. But really and truly, it's in the statement. No one needs the most made up, self-made, I don't even know what to say now. Why do we struggle then to show up and just be present and just do all that we've been called to do? Now, I'm going to just share a few things that I've struggled with in my short life. Sorry, I'm looking over at my notes, guys, because I got to remember this stuff. It's hard being a content creator. Oh my God. So yeah, I'm going to share a few things that I've struggled with in my short life. And I'm not looking for, oh bless her, that sort of thing. I'm trying to just open up the floor for us to kind of have like a safe, honest, adult conversation. Because baby, 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 we're coming out of this today. We are solving our comparison issues today. So let's get into it. So one of the things that I've struggled with in this adulting life is beauty. The comparison of beauty. My God. I think it's because there's so many factors that play a part in what people deem as beauty. So society has standards, social media has standards, even the cosmetic industry has standards as to what beauty looks like, right? So what we find is that a lot of women are, and men too, men also have this struggle as well. I'm gonna just put that out there, but I'm gonna talk from a woman's perspective. We find that a lot of women are uncomfortable with in their own skin because of what others have painted beauty to look like. And so that was something that I definitely struggled with. Um, and I would say it's probably still an ongoing thing, kind of breaking the ideologies of what beauty should look like and embracing what you have. I am a firm believer of if there's ways you can improve yourself, like health wise, going to the gym and all that kind of stuff, definitely go for it. You know, anything that would make you elevate what you have, makeup, I guess, you know, wigs, hair, whatever it is, to make you really enhance what you have, I'm all for it. But I find that the reason why most of us strive for those kind of things, the reason why I try to strive is because of the ideologies that of what or the standards of what beauty look like. Another thing that I personally struggled with when it comes to comparison is success. Oh my god. Now, to me, success is subjective, right? But it's also so essentially what I deem success may not be what you deem as success. So some people success may be to be a father or a mother to raise children. For others, success might be to reach a particular level in their career. For someone else, success might be, I don't know, being able to finally afford the car of their dreams, right? Which again makes success subjective. But then there's standards of success that is just very obvious that most people will be like, oh, they saw that person, they'll say, oh, that person's successful, right? So someone with like six figures, someone who is, you know, at the top end of their career, that sort of thing. And I think where comparison has crept in with success is the fact that we have a lot of people, including myself, I would say actually, who struggle to identify what success would be for their life. So what your path is, what your purpose is. I would say achieving that purpose is the ultimate success. Now, purpose to everybody may be different. One person's purpose may be to speak to thousands, whereas another person's purpose may be to just speak to that one person who will go on to essentially speaking to thousands. But to the human eye, the one who reaches more people is more successful. One that is never really talked about is faith. Oh my god, there is major comparison when it comes to our belief. Like one of the things that I always used to be very worried about was my lack of ability to remember scripture. Like back in the day, we used to have memory verses and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like my memory is like a goldfish. I can't, and I'm actually concerned about that because I'm still young. Um, but like, yeah, your inability to remember scripture, like memory verses and all that kind of stuff, and I find that a lot of people are falling into the trap of comparing themselves with somebody else of the same faith because of their more performative nature. And I say that with all respect and with all mindfulness. So a lot of the time, the person who's screaming the loudest or singing the loudest or praying the loudest appears to be the one that's more spiritual, the one that's more in tune with scripture. And I think that puts a lot of immense pressure on people who are just really just trying to grow in intimacy. The other one that I probably struggled with definitely was intellect. Oh my God. There's some people in the world, right, that always tell you they never revise for the exam, but they always had the best grades. And then you look at yourself and you're like, I've got to work 10 times hard just to make the same grades as this person. That is a struggle. And I'll tell you why I think that was a comparison issue for me It's because I was brought up in an African household. Now, for those who have been brought up in an African household, this is where you put your finger snaps, because really and truly, you know what I'm talking about. Where your mom tells you, but this person has no, that doesn't have two heads. Why are they getting this? Da, 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 oh, no, no, oh, no, no. And then you don't realize that before you know it, you're starting to question, wait, hold on, am I? It's true, they don't have two heads, so what's wrong with me? Before you know it, because of those kind of statements, comparison has crept in yet again. And so, one of the things that I believe, or I'm a strong believer of, is being open and honest about some of the things you struggle with. The reason why I say that is because the minute you say things, to me, I think it loses power. You know, when you're saying things like, oh, I struggle with this, or I struggle with comparison in this area, it kind of, I think it makes you, that very thing lose its grip and its hold on you, because you realize you're owning it. But then the next step that a lot of people may not make is, what are you now going to do about it? And so a few things that I've started to practice on my road, on my way to 30, and just to give myself peace of mind, because like, why not? Um, is killing flesh. Every time I have an intrusive thought, or every time I have a thought that may fester and become a cycle of just comparing and, you know, you know, reduce it, or killing my self-esteem, or just dimming my confidence, I actively find ways to kill my flesh. And that could be things like congratulating the person. Oh my god, congratulations on your success, congratulations on your union, congratulations on, your promotion. Killing your flesh and saying, no, actually, I'm not going to allow the comparison, I'm not going to allow the jealousy to brew. I'm going to congratulate the person because they're a friend, or because why can't good things happen to other people? And so that's one thing that I definitely do, like, actively kill flesh. I don't give myself another second to think about it, because the minute you do, you allow pride to creep in. And I guess the last thing that I do in order to kind of ensure that comparison, or the thoughts that fester that lead to comparison and lead to downward spiral, is to make sure, and I always say this statement, and I know a couple of my friends know this statement: I choose joy. And I think saying it again, like I said, gives it, it's like a declaration that I'm not allowing these thoughts to rob me of my peace of mind, rob me of my joy, rob me of, or rob my friend of their success, or whatever it is that they're going through. But I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing joy for them. I'm choosing joy for myself. I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing to have joy for the rest of this day, that it's not going to affect my day. And I find that positive affirmations, declarations, saying and speaking good things over yourself. One thing my mom always says to me is, "Oh, just as you're going to celebrate other people, who are getting married, I pray that others will come and join you at your celebration." And it's a good thing. It's a good mindset to have. I choose joy. That God, the same way you did it for so and so person, I know mine is coming next. Or when you see that, a friend has just got a new job, saying stuff like, God is in the neighborhood, so he's, my testimony is next. Those kind of things really, really just transform your mind from having that comparative negative spiral to being that confident person who's sure in their identity and sure in their purpose and sure in what God is going to do through them. And so I hope that you guys have enjoyed this conversation, because I know I did. I think it's put a lot of things into perspective for me in terms of comparison, some of the things that where I've been and where I'm going. And so I wanted to challenge you guys, and let's get talking in the comment section. What's one thing, one comparison that you've maybe made recently that you're a bit shy about, well, a bit ashamed about, that, why did I even compare myself? Like, that sort of thing. Like, that was so unnecessary. Write it in the comment section below. Let's encourage one another. Let's remind one another that our purposes are different. Therefore, our results and our outcomes are different. And yeah, also, if you guys love the content, if you guys love the conversation, the gist, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. And yeah, let's keep going. The more you like, the more you comment, the more you share, the more I know you're loving this content and you're sticking with me. Thanks guys for tuning in to On the Road to 30.
Calling me out like the first day. This ain't no first aid. Yeah, 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 you making me new today. Brand new, straight from the fountain of wealth. I put my gift in your hand. Take me from rags to riches in the best way.